All right, so basically what I want to talk about just a little bit is, of course, the economy. Where have we been? That's the easy part. That's historical. Everybody knows that. So that's real easy to get up and talk about. And the harder part is where are we going? You can listen to any of the pundits or experts, and they all have a wide range of opinions on where we're going, when's the next downturn coming, what's going on with the interest rates. And those are things that are going to play in. So, I'm not going to have a lot of answers for you on the where are we going side. I got some points to talk about, and this is where I'd love for you guys to participate too, if you guys have thoughts or however that may look. This I pulled from Marcus and Millichap. It just shows, one of the biggest pieces. In my estimate, and most people you hear talk about, the two biggest pieces, obviously, and where we're going are employment. And as you can see by this chart, we're 3.7 million jobs ahead of the last peak right now. So employment has been, from 2010-11 on a very dramatic incline as we've recovered from the last recession. And then this is the big one. Are you prepared for rising interest rates? Honestly, it's been at least, I was trying to think back, it's been at least 2 years where it's imminent. That's what I keep hearing, it's imminent. The Fed's about to raise rates. And then something happens. The Chinese market, the market overseas, all of a sudden they go in the toilet, and all of a sudden everybody's concerned about we better not move the interest rates right now. So it's an interesting dynamic in the whole interest rate talk. I mean, we've been through 2 Fed chairs now, and it still kind of just sits where we are, just at these historic lows. I wish I knew, because I wouldn't be an appraiser anymore, quite honestly, if I knew all this. But it's, I guess as you guys get ready for the future, are you prepared? Because it's going to happen. I mean, it's got to a degree. The main point I guess I hear is there's going to be a slight increase in the third or fourth quarter this year. Again, the China market's holding it back. There's a lot more money these days in the form of banks and lenders competing for business. So that should absorb some of the interest rate hike. But I don't know. I don't know where we're going. But I know it's been the hot topic in the real estate world for the last couple of years of, the interest rates are going up at any moment now. So the first property type I want to talk about is just kind of, like I said, owner-user property type. So the only way I could really get in and kind of pull some of this data out was to look at properties in the metro area that are less than 10,000 square feet. So I'm going to touch on industrials, office, and retail. I don't think necessarily in that order. We'll start with industrials. And I just want to put this map up here because this is kind of where I pulled the comps from. This is from CoStar. So I'm basically north of 285, a little bit in the perimeter with Chambly and Doraville. And that's just where all my data is coming from. So this is industrial sales since 2006, I believe. Yes, since the beginning of 2006. One thing that I found really interesting, which is kind of obvious, I never really thought about it before. I'd never seen it mapped and paid attention, but all the stuff is concentrated right along the major interstates for industrials. It's not like that with other properties. I mean, it's obvious now that I think about it. That's where the transportation is and whatnot, but I just find that a little bit interesting. So this is the slide for where we've been with the industrials. Top left, dollar volume. Top right, number of transactions. Bottom left, cap rate. And bottom right is the average price per square foot, which is probably where mostly everybody's interested. And this, as you'll see as we go through each of the 3 property types, it's going to paint almost the exact same picture. I mean, and I think everybody pretty much is well aware of this. 2011 is really where we were at the bottom. 2010, 2011. Industrials, just like any other property type, there hasn't been any significant construction in since the downturn. It's starting to come back. But as you can see, transaction volume jumped huge in 2013 and 2014, and that was really the start of a significant recovery in the Atlanta market was 2013 for industrials. And again, it's very much mirrors the market, and these are smaller properties, so it's going to mirror a lot of the owner-user properties. And obviously, as employment picks up, the economy picks up, people start opening businesses, especially as the home construction returns. That's where a big portion of the industrial is, especially of this size in metro Atlanta. As that starts to pick up, there's going to be demand for industrials as the space starts to get taken up. So we've been on pretty much a straight increase from 2012 on a price per square foot basis all the way up to the current year. And it looks, as of the first 8 months of this year, we're continuing to move in an upward direction. So I don't think that's going to really, the 2 things that obviously would pull that back would be a bunch of new construction or obviously interest rates, dramatic changes in interest rates. This is small retail, again, under 10,000 square feet. The industrial, the one I just showed was 863 transactions. The small retail under 10,000 square feet, this is almost 2,400 transactions. Again, same area I drew from the industrial. What you have here is pretty much the same picture. I mean, 2009 in the retail sector was horrible. Almost nothing was going on. I remember doing some strip centers at that time when we were doing trend analysis. There was, at one point, over 10,000 square feet, there was one transaction in all of 2009. And that was all of Metro Atlanta. So, I mean, retail hit the brakes and hit it hard. But once again, 2011, we bottomed out. And you see on the average price per square foot, there was a huge spike in 2012. And that was mostly a result of the flood of investors to the net leased properties. It was an abnormally large percentage of net leased properties, which obviously trade on the high end of the range, that traded hands that year. And that really kind of, I think, falsely inflated the price per square foot in 2012. And then in 2013, because net lease properties are in here, again, I didn't have any way to separate out owner-user properties. But in 2013, I think it kind of came back down to normal where owner-users got involved, some smaller investors got involved, and the balance of the sale ratio of property types kind of evened itself back out, and you got a truer picture of where we are. And again, good step-ups in 2013, 2014, and continuing on strong in 2015. And then we got office, okay? And once again, almost a very similar picture. In the office, same geographical area, 2,500 transactions since 2006. You can see that the transactions spiked big in 2013 and 2014. Again, it's just as investors, you know, a lot of this too was the banks starting to loosen up, getting ready to start lending again. And so as money became more available, obviously more people got back into the market. And the average price per square foot in office 2012 and started to inch up in 2013. Office was really, especially in Gwinnett, has been one of the last ones to come back around. It's been real slow. There's still a lot of vacancy in Gwinnett. There's still a lot of available product. So I don't foresee any dramatic increases in office. I think it's still going to lag behind. You know, maybe take another year before the inventory starts to really get taken up, and you see a jump in the price per square foot like you did in other property types.